Let's see the realization of the third person singular morpheme. He laughs at me. Laugh. The last sound of the verb f is voiceless, so the third person singular morpheme is realized as a voiceless sound because f is voiceless too. He annoys me. Oi. Oi is a diphthong and it's voiced. So the third person singular morpheme is realized as a voiced sound because the previous sound is voiced too. She teaches French. Teaches. Teach. Well, the last sound of the verb is a sibilant, so the third person singular morpheme is realized as an extra syllable is. Teaches. He looks sad. Looks. Again, looks. It's realized as a voiceless sound s because the previous sound is voiceless too. She needs help. Needs. It's realized as a voiced sound z because the previous sound is voiced too. He misses. He misses her. He misses her. Miss. Right? It's realized as an extra syllable is because the previous sound is a sibilant. And then she hates this. He loves us. She washes dishes. So, the third person singular morpheme can be realized as a voiceless sound s if the previous sound is a voiceless non-sibilant sound. It can be realized as a voiced sound z if the previous sound is a voiced non-sibilant sound. And it's realized as an extra syllable is if the previous sound is a sibilant sound. Let's see some examples. The third person singular morpheme realized as a voiceless sound. Work, works. Stop, stops. Eat, eats. Laugh, laughs. So it's realized as a voiceless sound s because the previous sound is a voiceless non-sibilant sound. Examples where the third person singular morpheme is realized as a voiced sound because the previous sound is a voiced non-sibilant sound. Cleans, loves, learns, peels, teethes, screams. And examples where the third person singular morpheme is realized as an extra syllable is because the previous sound is a sibilant. S, z, sh, j, ch, or j. Pass, passes. Dance, dances. Choose, chooses. Erase, erases. Wash, washes. Push, pushes. Watch, watches. Dodge, dodges. What happens in the realization of the possessive morpheme? Saxon genitive or genitive inflection? Let's read the following examples. Frank's book, John's book, Alice's book. If we pay attention to the last sound in Frank, it's voiceless, so the possessive morpheme is realized as a voiceless sound too. While in John's is voiced, so the possessive morpheme is realized as a voiced sound too. And in Alice, s is a sibilant, so the possessive morpheme is realized as an extra syllable is Alice's book. Let's see more examples. The cat's food. The cat's food. T is voiceless, so the possessive morpheme is realized as a voiceless sound too. The girl's food. Is voiced. So z, the possessive morpheme is realized as a voiced sound too. And judge, j is a sibilant. So it's realized as an extra syllable is. The judge's life. More examples. The cat's whiskers, the dog's collar, the horse's tail. So, pay attention to the last sound, t, voiceless, then the possessive morpheme is realized as a voiceless sound. Dog, voiced, and then another voiced sound. And horse, a sibilant, so it's realized as an extra syllable is. Now, we just spoke of the cat's whiskers, right? Let's go back. The cat's whiskers, the whiskers that belong to one cat. Right, but we can also say the cat's whiskers, so the whiskers that belong to many cats. So the pronunciation is exactly the same. Well, so if we have the plural form cats, we just keep the plural. In spelling, we add the apostrophe and we pronounce cats. We don't add an extra syllable. We don't say the cat's. We say the cat's whiskers, the dog's collars, the horse's tails, the girl's food, the cat's food, the judge's life. How do we know how many people or how many cats, how many dogs we're talking about? Well, the context will help you here. But if the original word ends with a sibilant, the genitive is realized as an extra syllable is. For example, Chris. If we are talking about the kisses that come from Chris, we say Chris's kisses, Trish's wishes, Rose's roses, George's car. While in the previous cases, if the form is already plural, witches, we keep it just as it is, and it's the same as the singular form. The witches watches, the witches watches, and we can be speaking of watches that belong to one witch or many witches. And the last case we're going to study today is the realization of the weakest forms of is and has. In English, the verb to be is usually pronounced in the weak form. We say Pat's here, John's here, Alice is here. So, Pat's, look at this, Pat's. T is voiceless, so s is voiceless too, right? The weak form of the verb to be is realized as a voiceless sound because t is voiceless too. John's here. In this case, it's realized as a voiced sound because n is voiced. And in Alice's here, it's realized as an extra syllable is because the previous sound is a sibilant. We have more examples. Frank's coming, brother's cooking, brother, the schwa is a vowel, so it's voiced, and it's realized as a voiced sound, and the boss is calling is a sibilant. And what happens with the auxiliary has? Well, if the previous sound is voiceless, it's realized as a voiceless sound. The thieves escaped. If the previous sound is voiced, it's realized as a voiced sound. John's left. And if the previous sound is a sibilant, it's realized as the extra syllable as Bruiser's called. If that is very difficult for you, you can keep the glottal and you say Bruce has called. Bruce has called. And to end this presentation, let's have a look at these forms. In all of them, we say spies to refer to the realization of the third person singular morpheme, he spies. To refer to the genitive case, the spy's accomplice. To the genitive of a plural noun, the spy's accomplice. To the realization of the plural morpheme, the spies. The spy is imprisoned to the realization of the weak form of is, and to the realization of the weak form of has. The spy is confessed. Well, next time we'll explore the different realizations of the preterite and past participle morphemes. See you next time.